Jay and hang on, Jay. I'm gonna attempt this. Chandrasekhar, right?
Oh, you nailed it.
Boom! And Steve Lemmy. Now, it's not fair because I've actually had the privilege of having Steve in studio before when he and Kevin rolled through Phoenix when I was up there.
Yeah, Schmonty. I saw your name and my eyes lit up. I was like, Schmonty? I know Schmonty.
Because I was going to say, I have the clips prepared, but if you remember our conversation, Steve, I have a few questions based off that.
I will be honest, I definitely don't remember our conversation.
Okay, well, allow me to play you the first clip then here.
Where can you talk about where Super Troopers 2 takes place? Same area? Are you guys back in the Hudson Valley?
Probably. I mean, the movie takes place up on the Canadian border again.
Okay.
And I think, ideally we would wind up shooting it in Canada. Maybe Montreal.
Cheaper?
Well, cheaper, and we also want some French Canadians because we're going to be dealing with them in the movie.
It's funnier. Yeah, the Canadians are the bad guys. So
yeah. By the way, this
is a
is
lot of Canadian stuff.
This is the most we've divulged about Super Troopers 2.
Wow, you really told everything, didn't you, Steve?
That's it. I gave away the plot right there.
Well, we're not shooting in Canada. That's not true. But
Schmonty,
the time
things have
maybe it was.
changed now.
Say that again?
I think we're going to shoot up in Massachusetts or New York.
So it could be back in the Hudson Valley again.
Yeah, I think that's the current plan. I mean, we got to raise a little more money, but once we get all ready, locked, and loaded, I think we're going to try to shoot it up in September and possibly back in the Hudson Valley.
And what was your reaction, speaking of raising money, to pulling in pretty much $2 million in 24 hours?
We were excited. We were nervous beforehand because we didn't know if people were going to even show up, and that was kind of like half the thing with the studio, was just to prove to them that actually our fans were out there and would contribute, because they weren't kicking in any money. And so I think there was a lot of relief, and it's great. It's a great jumping off point. Now we can, the campaign is still going. We can still raise more money and make the best movie we can possibly do.
You're at like what, 3,370,000 and change right now, and you got like about 2 weeks left in the campaign. Which package surprised you the most when someone bought it?
Well, we've been talking seriously to a couple of different couples actually about buying the Best Man package, where the Broken Lizard guys will fly to a wedding and wear whatever suits they want, including our own Highway Patrol outfits, and be the best men at the wedding, or bridesmaids. But that was surprising. We're also going to do a beer fest in Chicago, and I think also where else, Vancouver or Seattle, and we'll break into teams and compete against people in beer games. So it's really been like an amazing response so far. So
we've got some pretty crazy prizes actually coming out today, which are even stranger than some of the first round prizes. I think today we're offering the Godfather package, where we'll become a godfather to your baby.
And you guys keep announcing more and more. You're putting out different stretch goals for when you hit different marks. I'd like to think you're going to get there, but just in case you don't, can you give any clues as to what the $10 million stretch goal would be?
The only thing we've talked about for that right now is if we make it to $10 million, in terms of the movie, we can do the Stinger missile scene that we wrote into the script. But as far as the perks for the audience, we've talked about at $10 million, we will all strip totally naked and film it and release it on YouTube.
It feels like somebody would pay $10 million not to see that.
You should make that video and then threaten to release it.
That's right.
One thing I'd like to point out, if you hit that $10 million mark and you have a little money left over, Steve, if you'll remember this part of the conversation.
Now, have you guys considered for Super Troopers 3? Let's look down the road.
Yeah, go.
What about one in the Southwest here, where you guys, maybe Sheriff Joe is involved somehow, and you're batting, maybe you're dealing with the immigration problem, and you have a wacky radio DJ as a sidekick. Right. I'm available, is what I'm saying.
Schmonty. We'll just call it Super Troopers 3 Schmonty.
So thoughts on that? That's still up in the air.
Schmonty. The best way for us to even consider making Super Troopers 3 Schmonty is if you go to the Super Troopers 2movie.com website and purchase the $25 million package that we're going to be offering today.
All right. Well, it just so happens that I'm nowhere near that level of radio stardom yet, but damn it, it's on my list of things to do, man.
We are offering a $25 million prize today. I'm not kidding.
What is a $25 million prize?
You know what? I'm not going to tell you what it is. It's at 10 a.m. Pacific. It goes up, and it's going to be legendary. And I guarantee no one has ever offered this prize in a crowdfunding campaign before.
So it's going to be groundbreaking.
It is going to be groundbreaking. You think I'm kidding? Check back at 10 a.m. Pacific time. It'll be there.
And what's the website again people can go to?
SuperTroopers2movie.com. There's a whole bunch of new prizes being offered today. I know that, like one cool thing we've been doing is with Fandango. It's never happened before in a campaign, but like people can actually buy the ticket to see the movie in the theaters, and that purchase actually goes into the crowdfunding campaign. And, it used to be that, like, you'd see signs of these people, people outside of these screenings holding up theaters saying, hey, I donated $100 to this movie and I can't even get in to see it. That's not the case with ours. If you donate and you buy that package, you're basically just going to the movie and funding the movie at the same time.
And Fandango's never done that before, or movie theaters have never done that before in terms of crowdfunding?
This is the first
time anyone's ever done that. I mean, we're really trying to make it as fun and easy and fair for fans as possible. And we figured if they could, if they donate a certain amount, then they can have a movie ticket and they don't have to pay twice.
Well, very cool. Again, SuperTroopers2movie.com, correct?
That's right.
All right. And
Shmonty, let me ask you a question. Have you been recording this conversation, and are you going to be playing clips back the next time we come on the show?
Wait a minute. Are you mad at me, Steve?
Shmonty, I'm only angry because Chandra Sekar heard me talk about the Canadian portion of Super Troopers 2.
That interview's been out for years, though.
When these guys go on the road without me, I mean, you can't. I mean, what were they, drunk? I mean, they'll say anything on the radio.
That's true. Well, we do at that station. We did supply our guests with copious amounts of liquor, preparing them for interviews.
Clearly.
Yeah, loose lips sink ships. I don't care. No, Shmonty, I love it. Super Troopers 3 Shmonty. Well, listen, put it out there to your listeners. We have to make Super Troopers 2 happen.
Okay.
And then we can talk about Super Troopers 3 Shmonty.
All right, so we'll hit that $25 million mark, and then we're in business.
We need
That's right.
We need it for you.
All right. Well, boys, thank you very much for taking the time. I'll let you go, and we'll check back a little later today and see what crazy things you have cooked up there on the crowdfunding site.
I'm telling you, it's going to be great.
Steve Lemmy and Chandra Sekar, thank you guys very much for calling in today.
All right, Shmonty.
Thank you very much.